TF2 and YouTube have always shared a close relationship. As someone who's been playing this game since I've started high school, I've witnessed every update and scandal fed straight to me from the comfort of the latest spiky mikey banger. Without its community, TF2 simply wouldn't be the game it is. But that raises a question. How did we get to where we are now? Why am I, and many others, wasting hours of our lives making content about a decade-old game? We could have jobs, wives, children, but no. We decided to trade that all in to make fucking challenge videos. Today, I'm going to try my best to show you how we got to where we are now. Find out why TF2 has so many YouTubers, and hopefully uncover the bizarre history of TF2 and YouTube. Now, TF2 didn't always have mountains upon mountains of content that it does now. You can imagine back in 2007, YouTube wasn't exactly mainstream. The site had only come out a year prior, so the idea of a YouTuber hadn't really been established yet. Don't get me wrong, people still uploaded TF2 videos, but gameplay videos, they just wouldn't be popular just yet. Content that was being uploaded was usually just fucking Joe Nuts showing off his 3 kills he got on 2-4 with his bros on the Skype group chat. No. TF2 YouTube never really got into the swing of things until the game's biggest year yet. 2011, the day TF2 finally went free to play. And that's when one of the first big names we all know too well first discovered Team Fortress 2. When it comes to the OG creators, there is no one more influential to the platform than the iconic Star or Stir. You want to talk about pioneers? This man was spearheading gameplay commentary like he was Christopher Columbus. To get a good understanding on the impact this man had, there is plethora of YouTubers who went on record to saying he is the reason they started playing the game in the first place. His name used to be instantly associated with the game. It was the perfect storm for success. Not only was it the golden era of gameplay commentary, Star, he was also an artist. While in reality he was a pretty down-to-earth guy, he would often do frequent collabs with other creators. And there was one in particular who was quite small at the time. Oh, you might have heard of him. What was his name again? Yeah, sorry, not ringing any bells. But in all seriousness, when these two were together, it just felt like they had chugged a crate of Bonk Atomic Punch, because these two, they're untouchable. Even if you're a newer player, the chances are you can still quote the utter classic that is Jerma is Mad Part 2. But all good things must come to an end. The pair ended up having beef and ended up focusing on their retrospective streaming careers. So now both their channels lay mainly dormant. For Jerma, things turned out pretty amazing. Pretty fucking spectacular actually. I think it could have gone better. Unlucky for Star, it didn't really go quite as well.
What kind of shit vid is this? You used to be gaming.
But if Stir wasn't interested in TF2 content anymore, what game could ever hope to take its place? Now, I don't care who you are. If you're a fan of Team Fortress 2, you've guaranteed to have an opinion on this game. Overwatch is the equivalent to TF2 to what a rival is in any Pokemon game. No matter how hard you try, no matter how many rare candies you shove into the champ, toppling the #1 team-based shooter. Once Overwatch was announced on November of 2014, fans were very skeptical, but let me tell you, once that big push came in the following years, it's impossible to explain the hysterics the TF2 community was in. Everybody knew this was going to be huge. This is where the term TF2 killer started to gain traction. In the past, we had the quote-unquote TF2 killers, but comparing loadout to TF2 was like comparing a tank to a Fisher-Price plastic pushcar. This time, it was serious. People were really starting to believe this could be the end to their beloved game and the community they love so dearly. The community had a gang war and split into 2 sections. They were constantly at each other's throats. There was the people who loved TF2 to the day they died, and the people who wanted to try out Blizzard's new shiny toy. And the biggest catalyst came largely from the Muselk community. When he wasn't uploading his daily Fortnite Chun-Li arse reviews, he was the fastest growing TF2 YouTuber. So once the face of TF2 YouTube was about to move to exclusive Overwatch content, you can see why Garden God 9000 was sitting there shitting himself in the comments. Now you need to understand there was a bit of a burnout within the content community at this time. You see, there was a massive shift within content styles. Start to see gameplay commentary videos become less and less prominent. YouTubers were looking for something new to make content on, and Overwatch seemed like the perfect thing. A fresh new game to just jump right into with all new mechanics, weapons, characters that still kept the adrenaline rush they were after. If you were playing either game at this time, you probably know that any YouTuber or streamer who moved over with their content was hated. I mean, fucking hated, bro. No! How dare you try different content? I've been subscribed for 5 weeks! No, this is outrageous! There was a massive wave of people moving over. Big names like Muselk, Salty Fish, Stir making Overwatch their new home. The competitive TF2 scene had a similar burnout with the game. Blizzard seemed like angels riding on unicorns, pushing a new Overwatch esports league, compared to Valve putting out a whopping 1 blog post. Veterans of the scene such as A Seagull and commentator Sideshow jumped ship with huge success. I'm sure you can probably guess the rest. If you're watching a TF2 video right now, it's needless to say that we did make it in the end. In retrospect, I think things may have been blown a little bit out of proportion. Overwatch is now unironically being called a dead game by its fans, and well, we're still here. It seems as the two warring clans of the 240ans and the Watchlings have finally made peace, but the whole conflict had a big effect on the content we watched. Over the course of roughly 2 years, content split into 2 different directions, which I believe can be shown through 2 examples of very important creators who stuck with the game they believed in. After Star's abrupt departure from the game, the community was left without a leader. We would then see other big creators start to jump ship to other games, or just abandon their channels completely. However, there was 2 channels that come to mind who were gaining traction at the time, who would soon become the pioneers of a whole new generation of TF2 content. I dubbed this era the era of the video essay, and one of the first to lead would be content was changing rapidly before our eyes. Short, personality-driven videos that could be pumped out weekly were suddenly being changed with a new pace. This was the beginning of the dawn of the video essay. Longer, more densely edited videos that surround a single topic to be explored and discussed. And don't get me wrong, these just didn't pop out of nowhere. There was someone who had been perfecting this style many years before Overwatch, and his name was Dane. Uncle Dane. I'm sure you lovely people at home have watched an Uncle Dane before. I mean, you'd be hard pushed to find someone in the community who doesn't know who he is. It's not easy holding on to relevancy in our little community, but Uncle Dane, he's just been managing to do it since 2014. He's just the community's uncle. He's the brother of the father of the community. Everyone knows who he is. The best example of an early essay-type YouTuber. I'd go as far as to argue that he even popularized the format. He really started coming into his own around 2016, setting an example of great production quality, videos like Engineering 101, and the Capture the Flag video. People start to take more and more notice. Not just the viewers, but more and more YouTubers start popping up with a similar style. A small group branched off into their own little community, with YouTubers such as Nate Fox and Array7 being 2 great examples of creators that found success with this exact format. However, there was one college-dormed nerd in particular who would soon enough inspire and change the TF2 landscape as we knew it. With Star and Muselk leaving the game, the community was left without a personality to attach themselves to. Someone who could roll some gameplay, hop on the mic for people to just sit and listen to. Fortunately for us, a channel would rise up from the ashes to fill that exact void. Funke started out as a channel about a nerd. A nerd who likes TF2, sounds like Leafy, and fucking loves Weezer of all things. On the surface, he was just a relatable, down-to-earth guy. He never tried to be more than he was. He would hop on, talk about some TF2 mods or something, and that'd be it for him. Fun fact, he was even the first VTuber. While he was damn good at speaking, it's clear to us now, looking back, that Funke, who was old and back, as soon enough would see him begin to path the way we see and understand video essays today. Videos like Death of an Art Style, Funke TV, What TF2 Needs, show Funke was a lot more capable than we first thought. Not only was his points rock solid and his personality omnipresent, he was also one of the first big YouTubers to combine SFM into the video essay. And as you can see, it's still a trend that's carried on to this day. Never mind. Bit of a side note here, but I think it's worth mentioning that Funke is a prime example of how to switch up your content style. People often talk about the TF2 trap, that once you make videos on the game, you are permanently locked into it with no escape, which is quite honestly the biggest load of fucking shite I've ever heard. The problem isn't the community, it's you. This isn't a TF2 exclusive problem. Like, if you go on TV one day click on the weather channel, and the weatherman is just there announcing that he's going to be doing daily no-fap wanking tutorials. You're not going to be like, oh wow, that sounds fantastic. No, of course not. A lot of TF2 fans, they don't play many games. They usually just play TF2. They're probably unlikely to be interested in your fucking Clash Royale gem collection guide. You need to put a lot of effort into marketing to a new audience while being able to please your current one. Listen to your fans. If you are a fan of your own channel, what would you want to see? Don't just disregard your fans and expect success. You need to be appealing to the people who are watching your content. And I know you want to make other videos on random things because that's just fun. It's more exciting. Get TF2 can be a bit boring. But you just need to keep in mind that maybe people don't want to see your fucking daily vlogs of your boring ass life. Okay, sorry, that's a bit far. Anyway, how does this relate to Funke? Well, if you look at how Funke managed to switch his content, first, he picks topics that TF2 players can easily relate to. Movement shooters, modding and mapping tools are all things that directly relate to TF2. Number 2, consistency. All his videos on other games are up to the same standard of quality as his previous videos. In fact, I'd argue that the quality just got better and better with every video. Number 3, commitment. A lot of people approach their content as TF2 videos and variety content, which is dumb. You may have noticed with Funke that he never made an announcement claiming that he was going to start making variety content or he was going to be switching off the game. He just fucking made videos and did it. He never once said the word variety. He just did what people thought they would like, and guess what? They liked it! And that's why he succeeded in switching up his content, while others continue to fail to this day. But that leaves us again with a space to fill, to inspire our community, and soon enough, that face would be filled by an old, but unlikely, familiar friend. I haven't spoken much about LazyPurple up until this point, but back in the day, he used to make wacky replay videos that are pretty funny. Here's a good one. Then pretty much abandoned his channel around the same time Star left the community. We wouldn't hear much from him until one fateful day on November 18th, 2017. Only a month after the release of Jungle Inferno, TF2's final update. He would drop a video in a way that no one had seen done before. It was a video that was just like completely mind-blowing to anyone who was active in the community at the time. You may remember it. TF2 is a timeless masterpiece, baby! Oh yeah! This video is so fucking good. It took the formula that had been built from Funke and Dane and took it to the extreme. Funke had been putting SFM in his video essays. Lazy saw this and decided to build on that with an entire video practically built in SFM, and it just works. And don't worry, this would not be the only time we would be seeing LazyPurple, as shortly after, he would drop his How It Feels to Play series, and oh my damn! These videos just fully embrace the community's sense of humor and love for the game, in ways I thought no one else could. It was just revolutionary. Each release of a new LazyPurple is an event, and while we may not see the conclusion of the How It Feels series for a long while, us TF2 players are probably the most patient motherfuckers you're ever gonna meet, so until LazyPurple comes back, there needs to be someone else who's gotta take the helmet. Finally, we arrive at the modern day. For some strange reason, TF2 has managed to strive as hard as ever with literally 0 updates. We've literally had an entire generation of YouTubers pick the bones dry off this game's content, and we're just here surviving off the scraps. If you were to ask me when the golden age TF2 content was, I'd obviously say now, since you know I'm finally getting involved. It's honestly really hard to say. While the earlier years were defined by an amateurish charm, nowadays I'd say the production value for content has gone through the roof. Pretty much every YouTuber I see, big and small, brings some major talent in their visuals, animations, which back in the day was so rare to come across. We've gone from people talking over gameplay to fucking this. And that's something we're seeing again, gameplay. Nowadays, you are seeing YouTubers finding ways to combine the scripted, edited style of video, mixing them with the fun and raw energy you can get from a gameplay video. We've been seeing a large amount of these challenge videos, which take a simple challenge and document the journey from start to finish by mixing gameplay clips and scripted segments. Some of these videos are really stretching the concept of a challenge. They do something unique by managing to find a way to bring the old gameplay style of the past and combining it with the new highly edited essays of the now. And to be fair to these challenge video creators, I can give them credit for finding topics in a game that has just had every single aspect of it talked about to death. The fact is, Every mechanic, game mode, item, map, fucking Steam profile has been talked about in hyper matrix detail. And while this provides a lot of room for creativity, it also gives us creators a massive headache, as each topic we choose is a fucking huge roll of the dice. It could either be a massive, huge breakthrough that people love and adore and get inspired by, or we get like 9 likes and comments like this. Right now, TF2 still sees the same success it once did. YouTubers like Elmaxo and Shunick are perfect examples. While both would agree with me that they don't make the most unique or awe-inspiring content we once saw of channels like LazyPurple, they are both able to put out consistent and highly enjoyable videos that have helped bring a new generation of TF2 fans into the game. You know, I'm always going to miss the old legends of the past and remember them for what they did for me and for the game I love. I prefer to think forward and welcome the new heroes to come. So I'll stick a bunch of channels on the screen right now who I believe are making the best content for this game, so you can be there before these channels make it big and become the leaders of the next generation. While TF2 continues to fail as a game, we manage to stay winning as a community. We hold our heads high and just keep praying and hoping that maybe one day, we'll finally get those localization files we so desperately desire. Right now, things look okay, but it's really unknown if things are going to be able to keep going, nothing happening in the game. We all love the shit out of TF2, and we're going to try our damned hardest to make the next bangers that stick in people's mind. We're even seeing old legends of the past come back! Look, new Pyro Joe video!
TF2's most expensive item just sold for over $30,000. Sold for a golden pan, 28,000, the spellbound virtual viewfinder. But what is it that makes the poison shadows?
Shut your bitch!
But what I'll do is I'll end the video with a promise from us creators to you viewers. What you're going to expect to see from us in the future and the next generations to come. Have a look.
TF2 has kind of become a solid beginner's game to make videos about nowadays. There's hundreds of thousands of essays, clip dumps, animations, and challenge videos out there, so naturally, more and more people try to do bigger and better things than the ones before.
And with more and more creators of differing varieties flooding into the game every year, it seems like there's no shortage of new people to start feasting on the game and its content.
Coming up with a new idea for a game released in 2007 is really damn hard, and most new style of content that is popular is quite derivative.
Here's the thing about TF2 YouTube content. Has most everything been done before? Yeah, probably. But I think that with enough creativity, you can come up with something that has never been done. You don't need the best editing to get your ideas across. I mean, just look at me. My videos suck ass, but at least I'm getting them out there, and you can too.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't see a future in TF2. Like 2034 or whatever won't be here. But I wish to bring creative and original videos to entertain you all.
TF2 has been around since 2007, and most games don't stick around for that long. There's a reason why TF2 has outlived other games. Among the colorful cast of characters and fun gameplay, no way! People have risen above the community to make content about the game.
The clip dumps keep getting better editing, essays find more niche topics to talk about, and challenge videos last over an hour now for some reason. And all of this is probably only going to keep going unless another game takes TF2's place, which probably won't happen because there's no other game like TF2 out there.
I think the future of TF2 YouTube would be exploring niche ideas and topics, but there's not much to discuss, apart from how Valve have neglected the game, which is almost a video style done to death in itself.
TF2 YouTube can bring in a whole new audience because new players still become interested in the game every single day. And that is mainly because of us. With all of our videos ranging from old and new topics surrounding the game, we have been creating and forming a whole new generation of viewers and players that could stick around for many years to come.
If it weren't for YouTube videos made surrounding the game by creators like Jerma, Star, Uncle Dane, LazyPurple, and a whole laundry list of other creators, there's a chance that Pablo Gonzalez 2007 or a lot of other players wouldn't have been even exposed to the game.
But we have to ask the question, where would TF2 be without the community? In a world where famous YouTubers like Uncle Dane and Jerma aren't around to spread their positive influence onto the community and teach people how to play the game, TF2 would most likely not be here today. The community has carried the game on its back for years now, ever since Jungle Inferno, so the thought of having the community gone as well, the game would most likely be dead.
What's the future of TF2? No one cares.